Welcome, viewers, to another episode in our odyssey through the annals of esoteric knowledge. Join me today as we attempt to peer through time at the tantalizing possibility that humanity may not stand as the first technologically advanced civilization to have graced the Earth. The saga of Homo sapiens stretches back a few 100,000 years at most, an eye blink of geologic time. With the majority of that time, our ancestors led lives in close harmony with nature, and without the ability to drastically impact the environment. Our recorded history only covers a fraction of even that, going back a measly 6,000 or 7,000 years, with most of that of dubious accuracy. This leaves vast epochs shrouded in mystery and conjecture. Scientists across many disciplines, including but not limited to paleontology, archaeology, and anthropology, have done their best to look behind the curtain and paint us a clear picture of the distant past. Despite this, it remains a patchwork quilt of incomplete narratives, with countless species consigned to oblivion, leaving no trace of their existence. Indeed, paleontologists currently estimate that less than 1% of all species to have roamed the Earth left behind any kind of fossil evidence. This serious lack of knowledge leaves the most basic assumptions open to change. Take the majestic dinosaurs, once envisioned as primeval reptilian behemoths, essentially monstrous versions of modern lizards. Even the name in Greek means terrible lizard. Nevertheless, modern revelations in paleontology have upended what was once essentially considered to be fact. It unveiled a realm teeming with diversity, including animals of all shapes and sizes, and that the dinosaurs were in fact not really lizards at all, but much closer to modern-day birds. Many were even covered in feathers. Enter the crux of today's contemplations, the Silurian Hypothesis. Could it be that hidden within the stratified layers of Earth's geologic history lies the vestiges of civilizations long past, potentially preceding humanity by eons? And if so, would we have the sagacity to recognize the enigmatic echoes of bygone eras for what they may truly be? This provocative thought experiment was coined by astrophysicists Gavin Schmidt and Adam Frank in their 2018 paper published in the International Journal of Astrobiology. They drew its moniker from the reoccurring pseudo-villains in the British sci-fi staple Doctor Who. The Silurians are a race of technologically advanced, reptilian humanoids whose civilization coexisted with the dinosaurs, and are the self-proclaimed original owners of planet Earth. Before I continue, I want to be clear. I am not suggesting there is any kind of ancient, technologically advanced civilization, or any evidence of such a civilization that predates humanity. Neither does the Silurian Hypothesis. It is about the ability of modern technology to detect any evidence, if there is any evidence to find. Keep in mind, the planet doesn't even necessarily have to be Earth. We could just as easily be considering the history of some distant world. They argue in their paper that there has been enough accessible fossil fuel to power an industrial-level civilization on Earth since the Carboniferous period. That was roughly 350 million years ago. Contrary to popular belief, fossil fuels are not made up of dinosaurs. They are mostly made up of plankton and plant biomass. For the most part, plankton biomass turns into natural gas and oil, where plant matter turns into coal. As it happens, most of what we use today already existed long before dinosaurs roamed the land. 350 million years is enough time that multiple civilizations could have come and gone with plenty of time left over for physical evidence such as traditional ruins to be consumed by the tectonic activity of the Earth. To help grasp the immensity of geologic time, picture the Earth's 4.5 billion year history as one humongous book, where each year is represented by one page. That book would be 145 miles thick. That's almost halfway to the International Space Station. The Carboniferous period, remember that's the earliest a potential civilization could hypothetically have developed, does not appear until about the 134th mile, and the Declaration of Independence is not signed until within the last half inch. This all means that our quest for the remnants of potential lost civilizations require a broader lens, attuned to subtler signatures, 3 of which we'll touch on today. Number 1, climate change. Our contemporary situation bears stark witness to a civilization's profound capacity to shape its environment. The power of industry and commerce has altered almost every aspect of the planet. Climate change can be triggered by a rapid rise in atmospheric carbon dioxide levels, which in turn causes a rapid rise in global temperatures called a hyperthermal. The largest hyperthermal in geologic record occurred in the Eocene period, roughly 50 million years ago. We know burning fossil fuels is a major contributor to increased carbon dioxide levels. However, that doesn't necessarily require industry. The current explanation of the Eocene hyperthermal is a magma flow hitting a massive underground pocket of fossil fuels, setting a fire that potentially lasted years. Number 2, rare earth elements. Our second potential indicator originates deep within the Earth. Rare earth metals are true to their name, and generally hard, if not impossible, to find on the surface. While elements like rubidium, uranium, and palladium obviously exist in nature, it's usually not in a form that's very usable. For use in technology, these elements require refinement to one degree or another. Consequently, if we were to come across odd concentrations of refined materials, it may be a giveaway. For example, if a future society comes to investigate a long-dead Earth, they may find peculiar patterns of palladium crisscrossing the landscape. Well, that would be the remnants of our modern-day road network. Palladium is a critical component of your vehicle's catalytic converter, and you leave trace amounts behind you everywhere you go. Other than technology, there are other explanations for seemingly refined rare elements, such as the eruption of a supervolcano. The most recent one we know of erupted in New Zealand, give or take 27,000 years ago. The amount of energy involved in such an eruption can cause odd concentrations of all kinds of elements, some that may even seem artificial. Granted, it probably won't be confused for a road network, but a potentially odd pattern all the same. Number 3, radioactive isotopes. Our last indicator today is probably what most people expect, and that's the presence of certain radioactive isotopes. Since the dawn of the atomic age and the detonation of the first nuclear bomb, the amount of background radiation has increased. Thankfully, it's low enough that it doesn't impact most people's day-to-day life. However, it is not insignificant. It is a measurable amount that will be present for hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of years. It's pronounced enough that scientists actually seek out steel produced prior to 1945 for their most sensitive equipment. That's because the production of steel involves the infusion of air into molten iron, therefore anything produced post-1945 is more radioactive. Now, I know that sounds very conclusive. In spite of that, there is more than one natural phenomenon that could leave behind some kind of radiation signature. One major example is a supernova. If a supernova went off, and the Earth was unlucky enough to be in the path of its gamma ray burst, it would likely set the atmosphere on fire and sterilize the majority of the planet. Now, it's possible that life in the deepest parts of the ocean may survive, but there is no guarantee. In any event, radiation that strong would no doubt leave traces even millions of years into the future. I'm sure there are even more explanations for the indicators we covered today, and many additional indicators we could look for. But importantly, nothing lines up to indicate any sort of civilization predating humanity. What this information does suggest is that if there was ever any sort of technologically advanced civilization on a planet, they would always leave behind at least something to find. The problem seems not to be in finding the evidence, but the ability to determine if the potential indicator was natural or artificial. With the vast multitude of natural phenomena and the tiny number that even have the potential to be artificial, it seems like at some point the two would be indistinguishable from one another. I trust you enjoyed today's exploration into the Silurian Hypothesis as much as I did. If you want to see me cover even more random knowledge, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. And until then, remember, the wonder is always out there. We just have to be looking for it.